Hello and welcome back to the Live Reality Game Podcast. My name is Steven Stewart and I'm excited today for more Surviving Reelfoot postseason coverage. And joining me today, you can't keep her out of the game. She's coming back no matter what. We have Joe. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. You already have a fan in the audience, Vito, saying hello.
I love you, Vito.
Yeah. It's been 2 months since the game, and I know we kind of chatted before, and you've been pretty busy between them. You spent a week in the wilderness doing Barefoot and Afraid, which we'll have to talk about later. But how have you been since the season wrapped up?
I've been great. Things have, of course, been ridiculously busy, but it's been a really good summer.
Well, I guess it's so many questions to ask. I think we have to start with the decennium, right? Two
What was
years.
that?
We have to start with your first season of Reelfoot. 2 years
Okay.
ago, you played Surviving Reelfoot. We never had a chance to talk after that, and so I'm curious. In a nutshell, how was that experience? And if your kids want to join the podcast, they're more than welcome to. Hey, welcome.
She stole my Nito.
um, 2 years
Sorry.
you played. No, you're good. 2 years you played the Decennium. You were the first person eliminated from your tribe.
Yeah.
Kind of in a nutshell, what was that experience for you coming out and playing Reelfoot, spending 5 days, most of it through redemption, and then being part of production afterwards?
What an experience. My first season was definitely, I was in a different stage of life. I always wanted to play, but it might not have been my best time to go out. You definitely need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you go and like throw yourself in the woods for 8 days with a bunch of strangers. Also, first time playing any type of LRG, it's not exactly what you think it's going to be. I kind of went out and was like, I'm playing Survivor, I'm chopping down trees, and I'm running through the wilderness and I'm making fire, and there was
I
so
think
much more
everyone thought you
experience.
had an idol at some point because you were out doing so much in the woods.
It was raining nonstop. Like we went out and it was pouring rain. It was just like rain after rain after rain. So like my main priority was like I need to get dry. I need to be dry. I need to get the people around me dry. Like this is going to be hard. This is hard. I'm noticing like different people struggling in different areas. Like I wanted it to be I wanted to take care of and I didn't realize like you really have to hit the ground moving. You have to start talking and building those relationships. And I was very shy, as like outgoing as I am. Really didn't know how to do that, and I didn't think I thought I had more time. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this weekend I just get to build relationships, but no, like there's a game that starts day one. So
A couple of things in the audience, real fast. From Logan, we did it, Joe.
we did
Uh,
it.
Mary Ellen says, "Hey, Joe."
Oh, Mary Ellen.
Logan does want to know when you say kids, do you mean Trevor?
No.
Um, and some of the audience ask who your favorite Reelfoot alumni is.
Oh, my favorite Reelfoot alumni. Oh goodness. Is
Is
that a
it?
Reelfoot alumni person? No. Um,
And
you
why is it,
know,
why is it your husband?
oh yeah, that guy. I'm just kidding. I love him. He's not here, and there's no way that he's watching this right now. So like that makes things so much easier. He's
Is this the
currently
Trevor Biggerstaff fan account who's commenting them?
probably oh geez Louise. Go, he's supposed to be watching Spider-Man right now, so go watch your
No,
movie, bro.
his priorities his priorities are perfectly aligned right now.
They definitely are. They always have been.
And so you end up being the first one voted out of your original tribe in the Decennium. How was that time in redemption? Because you spend a good chunk of time there, kind of processing the experience.
um it was wild. I was fortunate to have Debbie with me, right off the bat. We definitely we got along really well. You know, we were able to talk to each other and connect and be able to tell each other like where we thought each other could do better in their game. It was a lot of fun to watch how scared she was of the game, but like how brave she was being out there. Um, Frank was absolutely amazing on Redemption. There was so much learning about just like survival, taking care of yourself, taking care of your camp, taking care of like all of the things, and then just like, you know, all the things that maybe you weren't thinking about while you were in the game, you had time to think about there and process through. So there was, you know, it was hard. It was definitely hard, but it was a lot of fun. Still exhausting. I know that I had a couple of, closer to the end of it, I had a couple of rough days. Why can't I even think of her name right now? What is her name? Jeez Louise. I end up yelling at somebody, and I don't feel like that's necessarily like who I am. Like I said, I wasn't in the best point of place, and I was kind of fed up with just like life. And there was a moment where it felt like nobody cared but me, and I was still in that like, we have to take care of each other. Like, we're out in the woods. Like, this is kind of scary and wild and insane. And they were like, Joe, I'm playing a different, you know, we're playing different games here. We're doing
Melanie.
Yeah, Melanie. Sorry, I can't even know. I kept trying to call her Melody, and I was like, her name is not Melody. Why are you trying to call her that? You know, and for a while it bothered me even after I left. Like, I was quite frustrated with her because I was like, how dare she just say we're playing different games? No, we're playing the same game. But with time thinking about the game and how it works and what people were doing and what I was experiencing and probably what other people were experiencing, I realized that she was very right. And I mean, I took it into my real world too. Like, we're not all walking the same. I knew that, but we're not all walking the same walk. We're all experiencing things differently and trying to get to the next step differently.
Shout out from Aaron, your fellow returning player for the season as well.
Aaron.
So you play Decennium in 2024. You come back and you are on production for 2025. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then, so when do you get the call saying, "Hey, we want you to come play on our 2026 season"?
I came out. I did production. I was prepared to do production for Dreamers versus Doers. I didn't know that I didn't apply. I wasn't ready, or I felt like I wasn't ready, like necessarily to go out there and do that again. I still felt like it was still too soon for me. I think it was probably about 3 months prior. I received my husband walking in the room and going, "Hey, it would be really nice if you would come and play." I had known I don't go in the room when he does his interviews. I stay away from all of that stuff just because, like, it's not my job. That's not where I'm supposed to be in production. There's like things that people are supposed to know in different pockets. And I respect the integrity of the game. I get really excited for the who's playing and what's happening. And, you know, yeah, I like all of that. Like, I like the whole thing, and I understand that there's a process. So I did know that, like, because they did interviews, and he spends hours and hours and days and weeks just doing interviews, and like, those had ended, and then all of a sudden they started picking up again, and then he's like, a person dropped, 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 over and over. And then finally he was like, would you be willing to play? It'd be really nice if you would play. Like, I would really like for you to play, and so would other people. Would love to see you play. And I was like, I don't want to pay $500 to play. I think it's $400. I was like, I don't know that I want it. That was my only, like, no. It was like, I don't really want to pay for it. And he was like, I'll pay for it. I'll make sure that, like, I'll do extra stuff. Like, I won't take anything away from anything else in our life if you go out there and play. And I was like, okay. All right, I'll go out there. So it was about 3 months before.
And so you get tapped to play through OC4. Do you do anything to prepare?
I mean, I bought some much better clothes. Um,
Good plan.
I really did change what I brought out with me. Um, I was the last one ready every single time my first season. So I was like always holding everybody up, and I was always stressed because I was like carrying
Mhm.
all of this crap with me, which, looking at my life at that time, I was doing that also. So I've like minimized a lot since then. But I would say like my biggest thing was, just really trying to uh, minimize not only like the things that I was bringing and making sure that they had worth and were necessary, but like trying to learn to listen more instead of talk, because like I get overwhelmed and start talking too much, and that's not good for
And
me.
these games can be very overwhelming very quickly. Let's be
Yes.
honest.
Yes.
A shout out from Danny saying hi, Joe, as well.
Hi, Danny. Love you.
So I'm curious. So before you even play Reelfoot, you ended up playing a different LRG Survivor game, Survivor Durant, the week before. Now, was that the first Survivor game you played since your original Reelfoot season, Survivor
Uh,
Durant?
yes.
And so with that, it's a much different experience. It's a much shorter game. But I'm curious about like coming out of that. What was that experience like, and how that changed or shape how you were going to approach Reelfoot?
You know, that was one of my like, I guess I did, practice. Like Trevor came to me and said, "Hey, my birthday weekend, there's this game. It's just an hour south of us. I would really like to go out. It's a blood versus water. Um, if they, you're live and everybody can
Hello.
see you. You can say hi, but it would be good." So I guess it was like whenever he said, "Hey, do you want to go out there?" One, yes, I love experiences and I love spending time with my husband. I'm like a little obsessed with him, as everybody would probably know that. But I was like, this is a good way for me to practice what I'm about to go do. And one of those main things that I practiced in that game was trusting people,
Mhm.
because when you're playing Survivor, you can't trust anybody, or can you trust them? Or like they really on your side, or are they not? And like also, um, can I make moves
Mhm.
without getting caught? Like, can I do things outside of just going with the flow of them without anybody? Like, can I lie? Because I
Mhm.
am not a good liar. Like, I really suck at it. So, like, can I hold face? Can I handle myself, especially where I'm at in my life, and be able to do this in a game that I really want to get far in? I did not get very far. I was third out in Survivor
Wow.
Day Durant, unfortunately. It was a wonderful experience. It was an amazing game. It was so much fun. I did get to experience some things and try some things. It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
So a week later, you're approaching Reelfoot. So you've kind of already said some things you want to do. It's like listen, don't get panicked by just how crazy things are. Um, feel more comfortable with playing the game itself and to lying and to making moves. Anything else you were looking to change or differently walking into your second Reelfoot season?
So my first Reelfoot season, as everybody knows, my husband is one of the lead production members of Reelfoot. Going into even my first game, it's like, do you tell them? Do you not? I've ran into back in my org days where if I mentioned Trevor's name, I
Mhm.
was a target. No, they didn't want to work with me. Oh, she's going to be just like he is, or she's going to play like he plays, or whatever, or she's going to be his little puppet. He's going to be in her ear. There's been so many conversations about how people felt
Mhm.
about me because of who my husband is. So like, also, he has production. Are they going to trust me? Are they going to trust
Mhm.
him? Are they going to believe that this is going to be fair? So like my first season, I walked out as brought us out on the field, I walked out in front of everybody and I kissed him goodbye as I went into the game. That was my choice to go. I'm not saying anything. I'm not, like if somebody asked me, I'll say it, but like I'm giving people the opportunity to see that like I'm not hiding anything.
Mhm.
And I actually had somebody on my tribe go, I knew who you were because I checked his Facebook. So if you wouldn't have told me the truth, it was Melissa, I believe. If you wouldn't have told me the truth, then I wouldn't have wanted to play with you at all.
Mhm.
So like knowing that, hearing that, like that was a big deal for me from my first season. And it was a scary situation because I always thought, well, people are going to vote me out because my husband's on production. I hope people don't vote me out because my husband's on production. So whenever I went into Dreamers versus Doers, I wasn't going to tell anybody. I mean, I was going to tell them if they asked me. If they're like, I said my husband's name. I said where I was from. I said how many kids I had. I said all of my kids' names. I talked like everybody else talked, but like I didn't go, that's my husband standing right there.
Right there.
Like people knew who Trevor was, but they didn't realize who I was. And what's crazy, somebody had actually seen, mine's not him, but like he had done something and ranch. No. Jude had seen my picture on his screen, but didn't realize that we were the same. But she kept coming up to me going, you look really familiar. Do I know you? And I'm like,
I'm not from Logansport, Indiana. I don't know what you're talking
before. So whenever I went in, I didn't talk about it. Now I was found out at one point, and the person decided to keep it a secret for me. They said like that shouldn't be something that gets in the way. Anthony said that shouldn't be something that gets in the way of you playing. Now, if you'd played 17 orgs and won, I would totally out you, girl. But just because Trevor's your husband, I don't want people to put that against you. So, but he had, I got tribe swapped. I know that's further along, but when we pulled our buffs, and I got my yellow buff, all of a sudden Trevor, like on a dime, was like, oh, and production also, or the tribe handlers also did a swap, and we're swapping tribes because we couldn't be on the same tribe together, which is very fair. And Anthony was like, Trevor's from Oklahoma. Joanne's from Oklahoma. Trevor has 6 kids. Joanne has 6 kids. They can't be on the same thing together. So maybe that's just, and he was like, he had made a couple of comments. He was like, I was trying to get y'all to know that I knew who you were. I knew who he was. I knew what was happening. And I was like, well, thanks for not telling everybody, because I wasn't ready,
A couple of fun comments here. Vito with the biggest twist was finding out that you were married to Trevor.
You have to go play.
Mary Ellen saying, Joe, my son said you're very pretty. Just ego boost for you. And Logan saying, it's crazy because I don't feel like I would trust someone who had a spouse production, but there's something just about you. There's a level of pure authenticity.
Thank you. I really, really do try. I really do try.
So you show up, the cast is arriving. I'm curious, do you recognize or know anyone else on the cast?
So before the day, I didn't know that it was Aaron that was going to be the other person that was brought back. Can y'all please? No. Yes, I can. I'll try. I'm going to try to talk while I log him in so he'll be able to play. No, I have no idea what that is. I recognized Aaron. I didn't know that he was playing, and so there was that. I didn't recognize anybody else that was playing. I didn't know anybody else. Aaron, it was crazy because like my tribe had come up to me and they were like, hey, do you know who I automatically came out and was like, hey, I just want y'all to know that I'm a returning player. I played 2 seasons ago. I did not let anybody know that I was production the year before either, because who trusts somebody? There's so much stuff. I feel like that's just riding on my shoulder. So I was just like, and they were like, well, do you know who's the returning player on the other team? And I didn't know if he was going to out himself or me. And I knew him. We have a good relationship. We've been on production together. So I was like, I'm going to say, no, I don't know. Yes, we did have a great time together. I wasn't sure. Like, I wanted to build a relationship with him in the game and try to play with him. So I was just like, I'm going to wait and see. And I looked over, like, right after I said I didn't. And he was like pointing at me, talking to his tribe. And I was like, now I got to go tell these people who you are. And then we had a challenge. And in the challenge, they're like, oh, yeah, Aaron is the person that is returning. And that's how I was able to come back to my tribe and go, well, I didn't fully
sure
lie.
Yeah.
But this is where I found out this information.
So the season has 2 tribes of 10, and the season theme is Dreamers versus Doers. And you are put on the blue Lunakai tribe, the Dreamer tribe, which I found very interesting because I did a preseason cast assessment and I just got it wrong. I was like, Aaron's a dreamer and Joe's the doer. And it turns out it's the exact opposite. You are a dreamer. I'm curious, do you agree with this designation?
I'm definitely a doer in like life, but like I'm very like in my life, like whenever you're around, I'm sorry, Everson, I do not know the password right now. I'm in the middle of an interview and I can't get it for you. Please go play something else. I will fix it for you by the end of the night. I promise. Okay. Thank you. So if you looked at my group, my family, my friends, everybody around me, I am the dreamer. I do, like, I'm constantly doing things. I'm constantly working. I'm a hard worker. I get things done. I don't need a lot of people to tell me what to do unless I'm like in a job and I want you to tell me what to do. So like, I'm definitely a doer, but I'm like, look at the stars, look at the moon, look at the rain. Oh, rainbow, look at that dragonfly. Do you see the color of that butterfly? Do you see, so like people see me as more of like the hippie, dreamy, type of person. So I think that's maybe where my husband was like, yeah, she's definitely a dreamer. Cause like, I'm not that type, I guess, type A personality, I guess.
So your tribe loses the opening challenge. You get to your new campsite, and talk me through those opening hours of the game. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Are you forming any connections that are going to last you through the game?
So, there's just chaos happening everywhere. I feel like.
I mean, you have kids and cats. That's part of the game.
So we get back to camp, and I'm awful with names. I'm trying my best, and I'm letting everybody know I'm really bad with names. I'm so sorry. I'm stressing about, like, do people know who I am, or do people like not know who I am? Have they stalked Trevor's Facebook? Don't come out here and be the doer that I was, like, oh, I'm going to collect all the wood and I'm going to talk about building the shelter the way that I want it to be built. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to try to lead this stuff. I was like, I saw Courtney kind of like take charge, and I like almost like as soon as we got out there, Trinica had pulled me to the side, or not Trinica, but Tony had pulled me to the side and was like, hey, let's do a interview. And I was like, right now, like you have to do this while everybody just got here. Can y'all get out, please? Y'all go out there, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. Please go play. Y'all have your movie on. So I went up and I had my interview, and this was where, like, I helped Nay. I'm a helper. I care about people. I don't want people to fall behind. I don't want people to feel like, to struggle. So I remember going, am I doing too much because I'm being too helpful? And I'm, am I talking too much? I did let people know that I was the first out, and like that I was scared that I would be first out again. And, I would, there's all of the stuff. So when I got back, I kind of just laid low. I knew that I had already, like, had a few interactions with Mel and Vito and Danny and Nay, like automatically. They were probably the people that I talked to the most, and they were the names that I remembered first. So it took me a little bit longer to remember Garrett and Logan, and which one was which. Everybody dealt with that situation for a little bit. Julian, Shannon. Shannon didn't seem like a huge fan of me, so I tried to stay away from her. She kind of if ever, like when we were at our camp, like I would try to tell her something, or I would try to say something I knew or something I had experienced or something I thought, and she would just talk over me, and Julian would. So I was like, okay, well, maybe our relationships are not that great. I had seen that Courtney and Julian walked together right after the first challenge, and they were talking, quietly together. So I was like, well, maybe they know each other. So I was like, just trying to watch people figure out. Mel had come up to me, and like after I had come back and would give me information, or talk to me, or Vito would talk to me. So I feel like those were my main first connections and people that I thought I could connect with. So, yeah. Sorry.
Did you feel like deja vu for your first game, or are you kind of starting to feel like, okay, I think this is going to go better?
I think one of the biggest, like, going out there was the biggest fear of like, oh, my husband's on production, they're going to vote me out. This time I went out and it was, oh, I've already played. I already had my chance. They have every right to say, get on, girl. You've already been here. You had your chance. You were already voted out. We're just going to easy boot you out again. So like I had a lot of fear around that. So Everson, I'm sorry, just a moment. Can I mute myself for just a second? I'm so sorry. These things are awful. Sorry. I'm fine.
That's not just an iPad. Is it something else?
It's a Amazon Kids tablet.
Gotcha.
We did iPads with the older kids and learned our lesson. So we do the Amazon Kid tablets, and they're really good. But still, Toy Story 5, y'all. Yes.
Mary Ellen saying, you should have just threatened them like I did mine.
I'm live on the internet right now. I'm like, that's what I told him. I said, listen, the world is listening right now.
Yeah, so I was asking, are you feeling a deja vu from your first game, or are you feeling already like by that first, like, I think things are going better?
I definitely felt like they were going better. I still had fears like I did my first time, and I was trying to overcome them. I knew what I needed to do. I knew that I needed to talk more. I needed to learn about people more. I needed to remember information about people. And so, yes, there was some deja vu, but it definitely was not.
They're bullying me. They're like, you are a baby.
Yes, go have a snack. Who said you were a baby? Savannah, you want to go to bed? I'm not doing this. Tell them you're sorry. Give them a hug and go have your snack. Y'all be nice. Yes, go. Please, I love you. Go. I'm sorry.
Hey, if you need to take a halftime break and do something with your kids, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I listen. It's the week before school, and we've been trying to pack everything into this week. Like we've had meet the teacher for multiple kids, and we have like church, and we have gymnastics and all of the things. So no, we're fine. I think that they should calm down with the snack and the movie. I might just have to lock the door and They have their older brother out there, and he's just
Clearly not doing his job.
He's just like, this isn't my. It's not in my job description.
So
actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm locking the door. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes, go have a chocolate milk and a juice and orange. Oh. Okay. I'm texting now too. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Vito wants you to know that he can watch this all day. He's a fan of the Joe Show.
It's chaos. This is also like Reelfoot is like a vacation, believe it or not. Like most people are like, this was so hard. I was like, oh my God, like the outside and the peace and the quiet, like it's stressful. Don't get me wrong. Like it's so hard because like you have to hurt people's feelings and you have to like backstab people and you have to vote people out and all of those things suck. But like my life is chaos. I love it. I love, like, we have 6 kids. Like we didn't have 2 more kids after we got married for no reason, you know? So like, it's just this moment. We're just all day. Thanks, Vito. I appreciate you.
So one of the things that happens as you arrive at your camp the first time, there is a locked box there. And so what were your thoughts on that locked box and the ultimate discovery of the key?
So that's like part of the situation is Tony said, hey, let's go do an interview. So like we walk up the hill and then I hear everybody hollering. So like when we first walked in, they like somehow got into the box without the key and they were like, no, you can't do that. Something like that, like something, you know, there's supposed to be another part of this. You'll have to figure it out. And they're like, okay, come, let's do some interviews. And like, I went away and then everybody started hollering. And then I came back and they said that they had got into the box. And I said, oh, cool. What's in the box? And it was just food. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that there was a Rolodex, I think, until the second day.
So so tell me about finding out there's a cryptex.
Cryptex, thank you. Yeah. Rolodex. That's one of those things that goes on a desk. Oh my gosh. Yep. My brain is fried right now. Sorry. I don't remember exactly how I think Mary Ellen, or I think that's who told me. But they said that it was found and they're trying to find out what, Mary Ellen was like, because where I was like, what are these letters for? Oh, there's going to be one of these things. I was like, I know about these before because we've seen them in the previous seasons. And she was like, she showed me her water bottle where she had wrote like the letters that she had already found down. And I was like, well, this is what I found. This is what you found. That's great. And they're like, yeah.
Logan wants to mention that he was also there for this conversation too.
Okay. I'm look, it's been a while and there's chaos. There's screaming out there now. I told the sibling and the sibling has created more chaos. But Julian, I knew Julian had it. And I like remember going, okay, like even if I don't think that he wants to necessarily play with me, because we weren't like connecting very well. Every time we would try to have a conversation, it was almost like he was thinking about something else and then would just like kind of talk over or pass by me. So I kept trying to build that connection and going, oh, maybe it'll come, maybe it'll come, maybe it'll come. And then once I found out that he had it, I remember going up to him and going, hey, have we figured this out? Like, have we been looking for letters? What letters have you found? He was like, well, this isn't really something that I'm dealing with right now. We have more important things to do, and I'm going to deal with this later. And I was like, okay, don't push. Don't be rude. It's, like, this is still early. You don't know who's connected to who likes who's friends with who. And I was just like, okay, well, it is what it is. So, yeah.
So what were your thoughts when Logan is the one that opens it up the next day?
Yeah, we were in the car going to Discovery Park, and they had been walking and working on it, and we had more letters than them. Me and Melon and maybe some other people. I'm not quite sure who all Melon had given their letters to, but I like remember them trying to go through like words that it could be and like all of the stuff. And I was like, well, you didn't use this letter and you didn't use this letter that I knew that I had seen. And we were set in separate cars, and Logan and why do I keep forgetting his name? I keep saying it and then forgetting
Logan,
it.
Julian, and Vito are in a separate.
Julian. Yeah, Julian. They went into the car, and I guess that they had figured out how to like open it, to hack it, which is crazy because it wasn't even the word that they used to open it. It wasn't the word to open it. So I don't even know how it happened, but they got lucky. And Logan ended up being the one that opened it. So he received that idol.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't really mind. I liked Logan. I wanted to connect with Logan. I just I knew that he was connected better with other people.
So I'm curious because like you, Vito, Danny, Marilyn kind of end up forming probably the strongest alliance on this original tribe. When do you feel like that group kind of starts coming together for you?
What were the names that you had given? I'm sorry, I was texting my kiddo. The screaming is getting louder.
Danny, Mary Ellen, and Vito.
So like I think it was day 2. Mel had already started giving me information.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Danny. I liked Vito a lot. I also really liked Nay. Me and Nay were like connecting, and we were like, typically if we were walking together. And I always saw Nay talking with Vito and Danny also. So I knew that there was probably some connections around. Mel was more social with across the board, but like Mel was the only person that came up and was like, hey, these are my letters. This is what's going on. Hey, like, so I felt like I was like, okay, maybe I can trust them. And so I think that was it was day 2. There was a point where Julian, Courtney, Vito, like I was walking down the hill and they were like, hey, we want to be in a 6-person alliance. And they had 5 other names, and then they were talking to me. So like I'm standing there like staring at them, and the people that were left out were Melon and Shannon, which I was shocked. Yeah. I was shocked because I thought Shannon was closer with people, and I thought Mel was closer with people. So I was just like, oh, okay. I said, this doesn't, to me in my mind, I was like, this doesn't seem right. And the people that I feel like the most comfortable with not all of them are in this group. So I remember going to Mel and saying, hey, look, I really trust you. We have really good connections. I feel like we talk really well. They would like Mel, Danny and Vito would walk a lot together, and they would talk, and I was like, I feel most connected with you guys and Nay. So like I want to make sure that we're all together and we're all like keeping each other safe the best of our abilities, because like I feel like these are the situations that I see going on. These are the relationships that I feel like I see going on. And so I think it was about day 2 was like, day 3 was like, I think when we were like, this is for sure, like we're gonna do this. I don't think Nay was ever fully brought into that conversation. I think it was more in my mind that Nay was in that relationship than anybody else, but we all see things differently, right?
A comment from Logan saying, what a shame on my part. Joe was for sure someone I would have loved to work with. Aside from Garrett and Shannon, Joe was my personal best connection.
I loved Logan, but I feel like Logan was so close with Shannon. Shannon, like if I got around Logan, Shannon would almost like overtake the conversation. And like Shannon and I had the conversation later on once we both were in the Shadowlands Redemption. And I was just like, I could tell automatically that you weren't a fan of me. And she's like, I wasn't. You grew on me over a couple of days, but by the time I grew on her, I had already went, okay, I have to just let this go, because there's no way, there was nothing there that made me think that she was working with me. And I was like, if I ever want to get close with Logan, which Logan was sweet and kind and caring and cool and fun and helpful and strong and had a lot of, great qualities. And I was like, he would bring qualities into whatever alliance I'm in or whatever like situation I might be in. So I knew that I wanted to go further with him. I even liked Garrett a lot, but at the same time, like he didn't talk as much with me as he did with Logan. So like, how do you get to Logan when there's people standing in front of you? And that's where my, one of my first people to go was, whenever I had to finally do something for myself with Shannon.
Logan mentioning the Shannon and Joe feud was my personal nightmare.
Me too. I love Shannon. She is absolutely wonderful. Like I've had so many conversations with her, and I've told her like I strive to be a lot like her in real life. Like who she is and what she does and the way that she lives her life. And I loved how I was able to go to her and be like, "Girl, every time I talk to you, you'd roll your eyes at me," and she stopped and she said, "You know what? This is something that I know that I need to work on. If I'm doing that so easily to you and I don't realize it, I wonder who else I do that to in my life, because it wasn't that I hated you. I just like, you just drove me a little nuts. And yeah, I felt like you knew it all or something like that." And I loved how she was able to go like, this is a learning experience for me. I had no like actual hate towards you. I didn't want to make you feel that way, but like, thank you for, talking to me about it. So it was really cool. She's a wonderful being.
Well, during the second day, I do want to talk about the Sumo at Sea challenge, because you go 2 for 2 for this challenge. You face Jana and you face Leah in this challenge and are victorious.
Yeah. I have this like thing about me where like I just want to, and I want to try, and I'm going to do my best. And if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail. But it felt good. I've been taking good care of myself, and I've been working hard, and I've been moving a lot of boxes and doing a lot of work for a neighbor of mine, and going out there, and knew I was strong. And that was like a way for me to like do it. So the sumo challenge was a lot of fun, and I like that I was able to help my team out.
So end of day 2, you get evacuated from your camp, right? You're moving to new camps after a very torrential downpour. How are you feeling at end of the second day?
I felt like I had to be strong, to be honest. I experienced 3 days of rain my first season, soaking wet clothes. We got evacuated because there was a really bad storm. Lightning had struck a tree and caught it on fire at the other camp. So like I had already experienced this exact situation. And when we were in that storm, Courtney had worked so hard on the shelter, and it didn't matter how well she worked on that shelter. That storm was more than what that shelter was ever going to protect us from. There were people that were sitting in, because there's not a lot that you can do, and there's only so much space. So some people were holding the tarp in different places, trying to protect. Different people were doing the best that they could. But there was a moment where Logan had grabbed so many other people's bags and were like trying to keep them safe and hand them to people. And he was trying to hold stuff, and he was doing different things. Well, unaware, the people that were sitting on his bag were they weren't aware that the bag was sitting where it was and how it was sitting, and water just filled his bag. And I know what it's like to have wet clothes. Also, Stacy talked about Joe and wet. Like, I know what it's like to be wet and not be able to get out of that.
Mhm.
I understand what it does to your body. I understand what it does to your mind. And when the rain stopped and everybody started to grab their stuff and go through their things, Logan had went through his bag and everything was soaked. And he kind of like just everything changed in that moment. A lot of emotion came out and a lot of like, do I want to be here? Can I do this? Like, is this worth it? Like, what am I doing with my life? This is, my first game. I'm exhausted. I'm
Why
freezing.
am I out here voluntarily? Why did I pay for this?
Why did I pay for this? Yeah. So, I, in that moment, like, it didn't matter how I felt about like
Mhm.
me in that moment. It was, how do I get you to tomorrow? Even if I want to beat you, and it would be great that people would go home and make my job easier.
Mhm.
I don't want that for you. There is a human, of course we're all human, but there's like a human connection part
Mhm.
of this game that really makes this game so much fun, where you can really connect and teach and therapy each other,
Mhm.
because like, we experience so much in life differently. And I'd been in this experience before, and I was able to talk to Logan and talk him down off of a ledge, because he
Mhm.
was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the day.
Mhm.
And a lot of people probably felt that way, but we were all able to like talk and like kumbaya through that really hard, stressful, wet day.
Logan wants to just shout out that if it wasn't for you and Danny, he might have left on day 2. So thank you for that.
That's rough. Yeah.
Uh,
It was I looked it up later on, and it was a funnel cloud. It wasn't just a rainstorm, but like we didn't have a tornado, but it was something close to a tornado. So like, if you were there and you get to experience something like that, it is ridiculously scary. Like, you're in the woods and the trees are just like swaying, like these big, huge trees. And then learning that trees had fallen down in the other camp. And, it's something, and ugh, I don't even think about it. It's crazy. I am from
so
Oklahoma, so we know about all that here a lot.
that's one of the weirdest things about living kind of in this. I'm in San Antonio and just be like, oh, there's actual weather here versus California where it's just earthquakes and you're like, whatever, they just happen.
Yeah.
So day 3,
Mhm.
you lose the first immunity challenge. And this is where you learn one of the twists this season, the eclipse, where a player from the winning tribe will join the losing tribe, strategize with them, and cast a vote in tribal council to give one of those players immunity. What was your thought on this twist?
Um, I like twist. I had just gotten out of a game that had a very heavy twist
Robert
catalog, I
Durant
guess.
does
Yeah.
heavy twists.
Yeah, they're all over the place, and it makes it fun, but at the same time it sucks. This is great TV, but nobody wants to be here now, like experiencing this. So, but we were, as a tribe, really trying to figure out how to use it to our advantage to get our tribe as a whole as far as possible.
Mhm.
So we were hopeful that we could figure out a way to use it. And I mean, I don't think anybody was really that excited to have other people from the other tribe come over. And do you trust them? Do you not? Do you build a relationship? Can you build a relationship? But um I think we kind of flubbed it pretty quickly.
Well, talking about meeting Jana, because Jana's going to give you immunity at this first tribal council.
um I think it was the first was it the first night we had the challenge, or was that the second night we had the challenge, where we were on the hill and it was dark outside. It was a nighttime challenge where
Mhm.
we had to, it was playing telephone, and we had set at camp and we were like reading this uh guide, and it had all kinds of trivia or
Yeah, this is
information
night one.
about
Yeah.
Yeah. So night one, when we went out on that hill, Jana was standing next to me, and I hadn't built a good relationship with her at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the day, in the first challenge, we were shooting the beads, the little discs, and their tribe was like right in the middle, and I kept kind of pushing up against her, and I'm like, they need to scoot over, like they need to make this, like they're getting into our area, like they're making it hard for us to be able to shoot, because she was kind of like, taking up some space, and I was just like, I wasn't mean about it, but I wasn't nice either. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was very direct, and I was, kind of pushy, and I made myself big, and kind of just pushed up against her, and I was really worried, like, that would put a bad taste in her mouth. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she would be like, "I don't wanna play with that girl, like, she's so rude, like, how dare she treat me like that?" Because you only have moments around these
Yeah.
people, and so, when we were standing out there on the hill and we found out that we could kind of talk, I was just like, "Hey, I just wanna apologize from earlier, I was just trying to get us a little bit more space," and she's like, "No, it's totally fine," and we kinda talked back and forth a little bit. I explained that I was the returning player, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." And she's like, "Erin's our returning player." I asked her if she knew about the lockbox, what was in the lockbox, where the key was for the lockbox, and she didn't. She was like, she didn't know that there was food in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which they had opened it up while they were at that challenge.
Yeah.
And some
Yes.
people actually ate some of the food and didn't even tell her that, or them, that there was that food that was in there, which was really funny. But um, um, we kind of just talked back and forth a little bit, and it was friendly. It was fine. And then when she came to our tribe, she was eclipsed to our tribe. I had asked her if she would, I said, "You don't have to. It sounds like I'm fine, but I would appreciate if you do want to use it on me. I'm not going to say don't use it on me."
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people had went to her and said, "Hey, like use it on Joe so she doesn't get voted out this time."
Nice.
Yeah.
So in this first vote, it's going to be 4 votes Garrett, 3 votes Julian, 3 votes Nay, and you're going to cast your vote for Julian. Can you talk me through your thought process? Why Julian, and what was and what strategies were you going into this vote?
So I told you that when I found out that he had the
The key.
key, he, was like, "Oh, well, I'm not willing to talk to you about it." Like I could tell that he and I were not on the same page. Um Also, I'm trying to fully remember what had happened. It seemed like a lot of people didn't fully trust him. They didn't know how to trust him. They didn't know if they could trust him. It seemed like a lot of people were almost against him.
Mm-hmm.
So the main conversation was between um, Nay and Julian, from what I heard at first. Was that right?
Yeah, so it's Nate and Julian at first, but then Garrett also kind of pops into the mix as well.
I can't remember exactly who said Garrett. I didn't I don't know why anybody would have been at that point in time, no offense, but I don't know why anybody would have been really worried about him. He was friendly, he was helpful, he was kind. He wasn't bad in challenges, like he wasn't rubbing anybody wrong. So I was a little shocked, and I think he was kind of just thrown out as a
Mm-hmm.
if we can't get this person or this person,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll get this person. Now, I know that I'm pretty close to Nay, and I don't hear that Nay's really going to get the votes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everybody thinks it's going to be Julian, but will Logan, when did they open the Rolodex? Was that day 2 or the not
Yeah.
Rolodex?
The Codex, yeah.
That was day 2, right? And day 3 is when we're voting.
Yep.
Right. So would they use the idol on him? You know, like, could he use the idol? Like, is there, you know, what could happen here? And I think that was one of the biggest things that took votes off of him. And Shannon, I felt like Courtney was really close to Julian. Shannon was really close to Julian. Logan was really close to Julian. Garrett was really close to Logan. You know, so like in my mind, I was just like, you know, are these people really saying they're going to vote for who they're saying they're going to vote for? And it was a lot of like hearsay. So pretty wild.
Were you surprised with how this tribal council unfolded then?
I was a little surprised that Garrett ended up going, but I knew that he was a possibility, so I wasn't like 100% like just shocked.
So Garrett goes home with 4 votes, and then you win a couple immunity challenges. And that brings you to the gross food challenge. How is this for you?
Sumo made me lose my voice. Our team, our tribe was a bunch of cheerleaders. We would hoot and holler and have a great time. So by the time we got to the gross food eating challenge, I had lost my voice. It was very raspy, like, which was wonderful because like I can't talk that loud now. I can't talk as much as I would like to. People can't hear me. Even if I'm trying to talk to you, they're like, what is Joe saying? Like, what? Can you speak up? Would you like to do a confessional? And I'd be like, and they'd be like, can you speak up? And I'm like, I feel like I'm yelling like this. So when we got to the gross food eating challenge, the first thing was sardines, right? Yeah, the first thing was sardines. And I like tuna and I like some fish. The cheering. Oh man, we were wild. Yes. Oh, sorry. But I was like, let me taste this and see if I can even do it. And I took a piece off and I put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, this is tuna. This is so easy. I've hated sardines my whole life for no reason, like none. But as I tried to swallow, my throat was so swollen and sore, I couldn't even swallow it. And I was like, there's no use. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So I just sat there and was like, slowly eating my protein at the best of my ability, you know. But I couldn't have done what they did. Like the cat food. No, absolutely not. That was what else was it that stunk so bad? I like sauerkraut, so that doesn't bother me.
There's wasabi. I can't remember
I
what
like
else.
gizzards and I like liver, or I like liver. I don't like livers. I like gizzards. I don't know about having them boiled. Sardines were amazing. Yes.
There's a lot of sardines fans in the audience right now.
I mean, we were starving. My cats are they're about to go down. Sorry. Look, everybody's fighting tonight. So it was scary to not like to be in a challenge where I really couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't save myself. I couldn't put myself in a further position because, you know, I didn't fully feel safe. I know that I looked at Melon a few times and I was like, we're together. Are you sure? Like, we're good, right? Like, we would check in with each other, which is funny because Nay told me at one point, like, I don't need to have that type of relationship where we check in all the time. Well, I'm one of those people where you got to let me know because this game is moving and you might change your mind, or like, I need to know that you love me. Like, you got to tell me that we're good. You got to come up and be like, we're good. We're good. So, I didn't like not winning, but I felt good watching the people that were doing well in it, you know.
So Vito wins from your tribe. He's not gonna vote with you, he's gonna just go join the other tribe in the strategizing, giving immunity. And Eric comes over to your tribe. And we gotta talk about Eric and what your encounter with Eric is like, because I think this has some impact in the game.
Oh, Eric. there was the like, okay, because everybody at that point was really starting to question Julian, you know, like, is he somebody we want to work with? Is he not somebody we want to work with? Is he safe? Like, and Julian knew at this point, like, you know, he was scared. He was already doing some things that really made a lot of people question. And he was like, so who's your second person? And I was like, I don't feel comfortable telling you that right now. And he's like, well, I have nothing to say to you, and turned around and walked off. And I was like, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I spoke out to him as he's walking away, and I said, I just want you to know I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to push you away. I would love to have a conversation with you. I just, you know, he was like, I have nothing to say to you right now. And he just walked away, and I was like, what just happened? I was like, who is this guy? And I had a name in my head. Shannon was my person. Like, that was the person I wanted to go that round. She would start having
Eric sends his love, by the way.
I'm so glad. We're friends. We're definitely friends now. I really enjoyed him, but he was a thorn in my side in this game. And he scared the crap out of me in this game. Shannon was she was a pot stirrer. Mm-hmm. And you'd see it, you'd hear it. Like, just heard this and that. I just heard this and that. She never had real like meat and potatoes to any like thing that she was saying, but she had information enough to get you thinking and questioning. And it was just too much for like, you're already trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. And then you have somebody that's like throwing something at you that's not enough to like be able to figure out where it's coming from. So then it's just like, okay, she's got to go. Like, I can't trust her. She doesn't like me. She rolls her eyes at me. Like, she's clearly working with Julian because she does not want to vote Julian out. She won't vote Julian out. I was like, so if anybody else, in my mind, I knew bits and pieces. So he goes around and he talks to different people. And then finally, like, I was like, look, I walked up to him. I was like, look, I don't want to not talk to you. I don't want to not give you the time of the day. I just want you to understand that, like, I don't have a lot of information that I can give you right now. And there wasn't a lot of talk about who people would want to vote. And then he was like, okay, well, let me ask you some different questions. And I was like, okay, what's up? And he was like, who are you working with? Like, this guy's got some, excuse my language. I was like, this guy's got some balls. Like, what is he doing? Like, who's going to give out day 4, day 3, like who they're working with, you know, like nobody, like, especially somebody that's as rough and tough as he seemed to be. And I was like, I can't tell you that information. Just like, you can't tell me that information right now. And he was like, well, I appreciate you trying to talk to me, pretty much, you know. And then we were just like, all right, well, good luck. Have fun. Whatever you choose to do, it is what it is. I definitely understand. And I mean, I just watched him try to create chaos all the way down to tribal. It was so wild watching him pull Julian to the side and then Courtney to the side. And that was insane.
So the 4-4 split between Julian and Shannon, were you expecting this vote?
I talked to my crew about Shannon, and you know, I was expecting it, and I wasn't surprised. I knew that she needed to go, and I knew he needed to go, and I didn't really care who went. But, you know, Julian ended up being saved. So
now that night, Logan's gonna go from your tribe to a tribe summit where he's meeting Rafa, and the two are gonna figure.
Julian tried to play his idol. we just had decided anytime if we as a group were eclipsed that we would go over and we would save Julian, because maybe we could rekindle that relationship and show him when we say we're going to do something, as we've said as a tribe, this is what we're going to do. We follow through and we do it. He didn't do that. He kept burning people. But we wanted to like extend that olive branch out again and go, look, like, I don't know where you are on this side, but can we trust you? Can we trust you to stay on this side with us? And
had you gone to the tribe summit and you could design the tribe swap, what would your ideal tribe have looked like? Like if you had to put 6 other people in a tribe with you, what 6 would that have been?
I probably would have brought Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So we were. I probably would have brought Eric over. I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't thought about that. I would have wanted to build. I would want to keep, of course, like my majority. And even at that point, like I had one. Like I knew that I had 4 that we had agreed, and then I knew that Danny had ticked Nay off, and their relationship was kind of rocky. So like I was like, well, maybe this situation isn't good. And there was a, as the everybody already knows, there's a few moments that made me question like where my relationship and my loyalties would stand with Nay. So like I knew that my biggest thing would be like, I want the strongest tribe that I can, but also have the majority, to where even if it's a strong tribe, if we had to, we could. Yeah.
Eric
Definitely
agrees.
Eric.
So on this new tribe, you win the first immunity challenge. This is where Danny eclipses over, Larissa goes home, and then you're going to lose the next 2 challenges, and things get a little crazy. So you lose the first challenge. This is the water table maze. Anthony is going to join you. Is going to eclipse over. At this tribal council, Nay's going to get 4 votes, but she's immune, and Logan goes home with an idol. So talk me through this round. What are you up to? What's going on here?
The water table challenge. All I remember fully about that challenge was vomiting over my shoulder while running down the hill. Like I wanted that win so bad, and I knew I only had one job, and Logan had hurt his ankle, and he was the only other like real runner. So that was what were the votes on that?
So it's 4 votes nay. So you, Courtney, and Danny and Logan all vote nay. Nay is going to be immune from Anthony.
Yeah.
Vito and Mary Ellen vote Logan, and nay votes Danny.
Nay was ticked off at Danny because Danny had voted her, and she didn't know. She decided that she was going to vote her or vote him. Mary Ellen and who?
Vito.
I think that they had told me that they were going to vote Logan. I think I knew that was going to happen, and we were wondering if he would end up playing his idol. We that's where we kind of flubbed and messed up, because we were trying to find a way to like get them to vote to save Logan instead of Nay. There was some situations that had happened and that were a little worrisome when it came to like where we would be as a group moving forward. And when you start dwindling down and you end up losing, which is hard because like, especially for me, the 4 that I moved, like the 4 that I had, and then I was close with Nay. Like I didn't want any of them to go, but like I didn't see, like, we were like, okay, well, how do we keep our tribe strong? Like mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the things. Like, how do you move forward, win challenges, not have chaos at camp, not have this, not have that? Why did Shannon go home? Why did we want Julian to go home so bad? Like, there's like all these things that you go with. And for me, and this conversation I had with Nay was, she said, well, why did you, like, you lied in my face. Why did you pick me to vote me out? And I was like, I said, camp life, challenges, just personality, like connections and conflicts and all of those things, idols, all of the stuff, it all came into play. And unfortunately, you were the person that I had more things against. Even didn't matter how much I loved you and how much I cared about you and liked you as a person and enjoyed spending time with you in the game. It just wasn't, it didn't work for me. So of course that's who I voted for. I think that they had decided early on, because Nay did have certain challenges where she struggled more in, that they were like, okay, they're saving Sam every single round because Sam, had, an arm issue and had different problems. Like, she was a smaller person. They're saving her. So we're going to save this person that we feel like they would vote out, which was who we tried to vote out at that point in time.
Yeah. So Nay is saved. Logan goes up, but doesn't play as idol. Danny does not go home because there's 2 votes. Logan, there's some fallout from this tribal council that you have to deal with. Yeah. All right, with Nay getting 4 votes and still in the game and being very upset at what just happened.
Yeah. I think Nay would have handled it better had I not, like, if I'd given her time. Like, so when we walked away, we're going straight back into another challenge. I think at that point, and we were standing there, we were waiting, and I could see that she was upset, and I was really just trying to, like, not de-escalate, but like I was trying to reassure, and I did it in the wrong way. And I was like, do you think there's any way that we can move through this right now and have a conversation later? And that felt to her like sweeping it under the rug, because she was in her emotions at that moment in time, rightfully so. She would have went home had Anthony not saved her. And I was one of the closest people with her on the tribes, in my opinion. I don't know of her perception of what was really going on, but for me to be lying to her face, and then also being one to like bring it up and try to talk, like push it over to the side, I think that just hurt even more. And then even just following that, like, I mean, I've been in therapy, I don't know how long. And after the fact, I looked and I was like, I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I did this wrong. Like, that was totally my bad. I know that she has her part in it that, she has to take accountability for, handle her on her own. But like, I know that, like, if I would have handled the situation differently, like, it wouldn't have been as chaotic as it was. If you called me certain names or use certain describing words, you might see a different side of me. And there was a point where, like, I haven't watched all the videos, but I assume that there's probably one out there where I got pushed past my limit, and I had to keep calming myself down and going, oh, wait, bring it back in. You're flooded, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated. So I learned a lot from Nay and that experience. And it really sucks that we ever had to go through it, and that she had to go through that, or anybody else had to go through that. But it was a lot. It was really hard.
Because the 2 of you later on do reconcile with each other.
Yes. I didn't know how honest it was. You don't ever know how much you can trust somebody in a survivor situation, unfortunately. And she was, I didn't, you're out there for days. There's not months and weeks and lifetime relationships. This is somebody I just met. I don't know if she actually means what she says, or if she actually is just smiling in my face until the moment that she can stab me in my back. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. The words were there, like, we're cool. Like, this is fine. We don't have to talk about this right now. But, that was still like sitting, on my back for a while, just trying to figure out, like, does she actually want to work with me, and does she trust me, or has she found safety on the other side? Because why would you trust us? Why would you trust any of us after that moment?
Well, it's at least it's clear by the time she's voted out, where she turns and says, she points at you and says, "This is the person who should have won the season," and you two have a very good reunion in Ponderosa in that moment as well.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely, and we were able to talk a lot, but I think who I am and how, like, it's kind of like the whole Shannon situation. When you're able to sit there and go, like, maybe how you treated me from A to B was like, it hurt my feelings. It stressed me out. It was beyond anything you should have done. But I can recognize that I created something, and, like, I'm sorry, and I'm actually going to change something about myself in this moment. I've learned from you, and I'm sorry I put you through it. Like, when you can have a relationship with somebody where you can be, like, authentic and take responsibility for your stuff, like, I think that's very helpful, and it was helpful in that situation. I'm glad that I was able to build a better relationship with her, because I think she's wonderful. I don't want her to change a thing about her. Now, like I said, I was scared about I was like, if I get further in the game with Nay and she pops off at somebody, like, then somebody's not going to like me because they don't like Nay, and then I'm going to get voted out, and I don't know how well this is going to go. And, like, as much as I want to play with this person, sometimes in those games you have to make split decisions to do other things. Now, could we get to the end and kick some ass? Probably, possibly, who knows? But I was scared. I was scared of the game and what was going to happen, and not getting to play as long as I wanted to play.
So Courtney goes out with 2 votes. Nay's immune again. And you actually now this time have a real tribe swap. And, there's 6 blue, 6 yellow, and it is, I know you have all the buff colors. It's kind of exciting. You end up on the yellow tribe along with Danny and Vito from your alliance, and you're swapped along with Rafa, Eric, your favorite person, and Anthony from yellow. Of course, there's some shenanigans that happen, because at the point of the tribe swap, Eric stands up. He starts handing out some advantages. What are your thoughts as you're seeing this happen?
So they do the swap, and we see it's a 3-3, 3-3. So like, we're like, oh, this is cool. Like, maybe we can find cracks and play a game. Like, everybody's feeling calm, cool, collected, awesome. And then Eric is like, and what's crazy is I don't know that any of us knew that Julian, I can't remember if at that moment I knew that Julian had given him his power. Oh, I did right before. Yeah, there was a point where we found out. So, like, he had 2 of the same power, and he is like, I want to give this to Leah, and I want to give this to Sam. And then both of them raise their hand, and they're like, we would like to, because we thought we were going into a challenge. And which is funny, because there was like a whole chaos at my tribe right before we went there about rice and responsibilities and handling life like we're supposed to. And thanks, Pete. I love you. Wonderful. Like, this is the best thing that happened. Like, we're sitting there, we're enjoying our food, we're enjoying our time. Like, everything's wonderful. We're like, we have this strong group, and we're going to go into a challenge, and we're going to win, and we're going to do so good. Like, this is wonderful. This food, they made us coconut rice. So they like made us rice, and then they shaved the coconut in there and put the coconut water and cooked all of it up, and then put cayenne pepper and onion salt and pepper and all this yummy stuff. And like, we didn't have any flavor. And they gave us a gluten-free piece of like pizza that was Leah's, and it was like the most amazing thing ever. And we're like super happy, and we're like, we're on cloud 9. This is the best thing that could ever happen to us. Just like, yay, and then we get to the next challenge, and then Sam comes over, and Leah's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to stay over here. And we're like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, okay, we're going to go on this challenge. We're about to win. And we got Sam. Like, this is so wonderful. Like, everything's going to be great. I'm going to get to know Sam and everything's going to be wonderful. And the energy is just off once the challenge starts. Like, we're like doing the first part of the challenge. And then you have Eric and Danny at the end. And Eric is holding the big post. And Danny is jumping up and down and putting the ball on top of the post. Is that's how the challenge went, right? I'm trying to remember everything. Something like that. Danny jumped up and down off that platform like 62 times. Like, he was up and down. That boy's got hops. The other side is like making basket after basket after basket after basket. And we just can't. We can't even hold it on there. It just keeps falling down. And I remember walking, like, Danny, I remember walking back and we're like, he threw that. Eric threw that. There's no way. Like, there's no way. And Eric swore all the way even to the end. It was finale night before Eric told the truth that he did throw that challenge. But we knew it was, yes, you got the hops, baby. We knew, like, they were going to keep the people safe on the other side. They weren't going to worry about possibly taking any chances. And they knew that they had the majority on our tribe. So it was just smarter for them to throw the challenges and pick us off one by one.
So when do you learn that you are their intended target?
No, I did not. It's going to be after I'm done. I will come out whenever I'm done. Sorry. They're screaming under the door. When did I realize
we need you?
That I don't think I ever was like, it's going to be me, but I knew that if there was, like, I was going to be harder. You can't guarantee that you're going to throw a challenge and lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for it. I'm gung ho. I want to win. I want to win. Everybody throughout from day one on was always like, we did it, Joe. Joe, go Joe. Joe. We love Joe. Save Joe. Joe. We did it, Joe. So there was definitely, like, they knew that I was the heartbeat. I'm not the heartbeat. I'm not the heart. I wasn't the most important person in any way, shape, or form, but everybody loved Joe. There was that, it's just like everybody loved Leah. In our opinion, Leah was like the mom or the connector on the other tribe.
I think people saw you having that same role on your blue tribe as well, that taking you out would really fragment original blue.
Yeah. And so I I think it was just, and I was good at competitions. Like, I was going to put my all in it, no matter who I was with. If I was by myself, I was probably one of the, like, just like Nay said, if anybody was going to win, it would be this person, or should have been this person. So I'm not saying that I played the best game or I was the best person to win, but that was what people were vocalizing. So, that's a pretty big target.
So you cast your vote for Eric. Leah gives safety to Eric, and you see your name get read 4 times. What's going through your head in that moment?
I wasn't shocked in any way, shape, or form. I was actually smiling. I was kind of excited. I know that sounds like ridiculous, right? But hold on, I'm gonna grab something because I love this. These are the 2 buffs that I got from my first season. This is my non-Kana tribe, like the 1 buff that I got, right? And then this is my villain's buff. Can you believe I'm a villain? They picked a villain for me because I stole things. I stole yarn or thread or coins or whatever from random places, and they were like, "Stop! You're bad." And because I yelled at people in the woods. because they didn't care about fire. So let me go the right way. So those were my only 2 buffs, which is fine. But for me, like going out and having this and this, that was awesome, right? I also knew that there was a battle back or redemption, the Shadowlands. So I got to experience this. And then I got to experience something I didn't ever have before, which was a swap. Okay. So that was just like, I was already on cloud 9, like, yay, I have both the buffs. And then I was like, now I get to go hang out in Redemption. I already like that place. Like, as much as you don't want to be there.
I've been there before. I know what to expect.
My friends are there. Like, people that I really like are there. Yeah. And well, Frank and Melanie and Logan and Garrett, whoever stayed, you know, Courtney's there, Shannon's there. There's people from the other tribe that I didn't get a chance to talk to. Like, this is going to be so wonderful. It's another part of my experience. So I was like, this sucks. I got voted out. But if this is my placement, it's my placement. But I have a chance to get back in this game. And this is where I went out last time. And I went out on my own last time. So like, it was kind of like I'm going to Redemption and I have an opportunity for like a big redemption story here. And I'm excited. So I actually wasn't mad. I was excited.
So you're not at Redemption very long before the challenge begins, but you're there long enough to have Vito join you.
And eat spaghetti.
You had spaghetti too? Wow.
They made spaghetti in a pot and we all sat and had our own individual forks and we ate spaghetti. Like, they made me spaghetti. I showed up and they're like, "You want some spaghetti?" And I was like, yes. And then Vito showed up, which was sad, but it was either going to be him or Danny. So it wasn't surprising.
So talk me through the redemption challenges.
So we had the perch, the slip and slide bead challenge, and then there was the I call it the, what is it called?
The vote.
The vote. Yeah, the boat challenge. I'd seen this before. Now the challenges were different, a little bit different. And then there was fire making at the end. The challenges were a little bit different than before, but I've seen these challenges before. I've actually experienced the perch before. I've experienced the beating challenge before. I've experienced the vote because that's how I left the game the time before. And I didn't get to do the what? Yes. I didn't get to do the fire making challenge because I had 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
Sorry. Can I have these cookies? No. I said yes. I said yes. Look, this is a challenge all in itself. Who wants to sign up for a week at Joe's? I'm waiting for the little things to pop up. No, I'm just kidding. So I knew how hard the perch was, but I felt like I could do it, and I knew how hard it was. So I thought maybe other people wouldn't be able to do it. So maybe because I knew how hard it was that I could outlast other people. I'm not good at memory. I've done the beating challenge before and I messed up pretty early on. So like, that's definitely not something that I want to do. I did want to go on the slip and slide though. Like, I really wanted to do that part, but I also didn't want to get wet again because like TMI, too much like chaos, but like reality of the game. Being a woman and going out there and playing is one of the hardest things that can and does happen. I know men have it hard too, but I actually like when you get around that many women, you can start your period early. I'm sorry, I know that's a lot, but like I started 15 days early. While I was in the middle of the woods. I was sick while I was out there. We would go from wet to dry to wet to dry to trying to get your clothes warm or dry off again. So like when you're out there and you're experiencing all of those things, like you're like, I don't want to get wet again. I don't want to do this again. Like I'm exhausted. I can't handle it. So like, I'm sorry, but I just have to say any woman or any person that does like experience that and goes out there and is able to go through that game, like my hat's off to you, because like it's a hard thing and there should be a lot of respect around that. But I didn't want to go down the slip and slide. I didn't want to do all that chaos. Like I didn't want to take the chance of like not doing well in that challenge. So I decided to do the perch. I was the first person out, second person out.
It's you, Will, Shannon. Who else?
Me, Will, Shannon, Larissa. Is that it?
Vita was on the memory challenge. Courtney was on the memory challenge. I don't remember where. I think Logan was on the memory challenge.
Garrett was on the memory challenge.
Yeah, Shannon and Will. I don't know where Janet and Jude are.
Jude did the perch challenge.
Okay.
And Jana did the slip and slide.
Gotcha. So it was you, Jude, Will, and Shannon on the strength challenge, the endurance.
And me, Jude, Will, Larissa, Shannon.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I was on fire. Like I could not do it anymore. And I felt like I'd start to feel like I was just falling forward, and I was like, I'm not I'm not here. I can't do this. I think there's a possibility with how many people are out here that I could possibly win the vote. So like I just can't. And also if I do get back in the game and like I'm just sitting here for an hour or so, like I'm just killing myself and I'm going to make it harder for me, and I'm already experiencing enough in this game. So I fell. I think it was 18 minutes in. I did not make it very long at all.
How long did Shannon last?
I think it was an hour and 18 minutes.
Wow.
I think if I'm right, I think that's like I was just like, holy crap. I didn't even, it was wild. We had, it was burning hot outside. I got to sit on the porch and watch the challenge continue, and the slip and slide, I call it the slip and slide beating challenge, didn't get to stop until everybody was off the perch. And we had Logan have a medical emergency, which was like really hard for me, like just seeing him in the state that he was in and what he was experiencing, but watching like Taylor, go all out and making sure that he was okay and taking care of him, and production coming in and taking care of things, and making sure that people were safe and everything was handled. It made me feel like I was in good hands, but it was really like, it's such a scary situation. And these are like, I care about Logan. So like watching Logan struggle the way that he was, knowing what he was going through, it was so hard. Because he wanted it. We all want to be out there. Nobody wants to get med tapped. So like, So Shannon won her way into the fire making challenge, and Garrett, right? Yeah. And Garrett won his way into the fire making challenge. Him and Jana were one bead different. I think it was, she messed up on the bead before him. Well, clearly, right? But it was like it was wild, and their strings were so long. It was so crazy. And then we go down to the vote, and Vito and I had already looked at each other, and he said, "Will you vote for me?" And I said, "Will you vote for me?" And we both said yes. It was like the first opportunity, and I'm one of those people where I'm sure, and we pinky promise like we did. And we went down there, and I remember, like, you know, Will's trying to talk to me, and I told everybody, I'm sorry, I already have somebody I'm voting for. You're more than welcome to do your spill. I'm not going to tell you you can't speak to me, but I'm letting you know my mind. I've already discussed something with somebody. There's somebody I think deserves to be in the game. It was really hard hearing the stories when you hear like, how bad people want to be there and how well they can talk and what their why is. Didn't matter how much I love Vito in that moment. I had some really hard moments, and I didn't know for sure that it would be me, because some of those stories felt like they were way better than me, and you know why they wanted to be there. Also, I have this huge shame, not necessarily, I guess shame, yeah, is a good way. I was in this moment before, and if I would have voted a different way, I would have gotten back into the fire making challenge in my first season. I'm almost certain of it. I could be like just in a daze and just making stuff up, but I'm almost like 99.9% sure that if I would have voted the way that I was supposed to vote, and I knew how I was supposed to vote, I would have went back in. But I sat there on that stump and I thought, I don't want this as much as any these other people that are there.
Yeah.
I'm struggling too much. My mind's not in the game. I'm going to throw my vote, and I'm not going to go back in. You know, and I like, if I would have voted between two people, I know, like, I think I upset Debbie because I didn't vote for Debbie. I told the story about like how I'd been out there before and I played this game. I was first boot. I went through redemption for, 4 days, and I was in the challenge. I was doing really good. Really good. I think I was in the vote, and, I chose to like allow myself to go home because I didn't feel like I was worth it. And even in that moment, I almost felt like I wasn't worth it, but I know that I am, and I know that I have a game to play, and I know that I have a reason to be out here. And, I was able to, not only did I have the connections, because there was a lot of people that loved me that were in redemption, but, I did get voted to go back into the game.
You also vote Courtney into the game as well.
So I looked over at Vito. Vito, we had all given our spill, and I looked over at Vito, and Vito had told me that he felt really bad about voting Courtney out. Like that was really hard for him. And he was like, I'm not going to get the votes. And I was like, do you still want me to vote for you? I promised you that I would vote for you. I will still vote for you. Like I'm all the way. Now I'm going to ask you, because of where you're sitting right now, what do you want me to do? And he told me to vote for Courtney. Had I voted for Vito, Vito would have went in and Courtney wouldn't have. So he gave away his opportunity to go in because he gave away my vote. If I wouldn't have voted for Courtney, he would have had the most amount of votes.
Yeah, from Vito, you're amazing and deserving.
Oh, thank you. You too, baby.
So you give Courtney enough votes that she beats Larissa in the following tiebreaker vote. And it is a Lunakai heavy fire making runoff challenge to get by the game. It's you versus Courtney versus Garrett versus Shannon.
Yeah.
And all 10 players left in the game are watching this happen too.
Yeah. Really? Oh, I love you all. Thanks for being here.
And so how did it feel to re-enter the game?
I mean, it felt amazing, like my redemption story, and then also, like I said, I had one buff, and now I have my tribe that I love. I have this experience that I went through, and then I have my merch buff now. Like I've done it all. I mean, what else could I be doing?
Winning. I mean, that's just
winning.
it. Like game that and win, right?
I have an opportunity to win now. I'm sorry. Just a second.
You're good.
What's that? I need to grab my charger, actually. I thought I had more battery than I do. Just 1 second.
Go for it.
Thank you.
As promised, we have an intermission right now. As to what we're doing for some intermission, feel free to give comments or suggestions. Or you can pay attention to the bottom right of Joe's screen where there is some very adorable cats doing cat things. At one moment, I thought they were gonna have a huge tussle in the back, but it turns out that didn't happen.
They find me. Okay, where do my Nito go? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, the only thing now, like, it's just one more part of the experience that I'm getting to experience. The last part of this was, what else is there? Like, how are you feeling going back in the game? I've got all these experiences, and now I'm part of the merge. I get a chance to come back in. Now, I went in not feeling very good. There was too many from the other side. I didn't know where my relationship with Nay necessarily was at this point in time. I had told Courtney and everybody at Redemption. That's whenever I told anybody that I was married to Trevor, which shocked everybody there. Nobody even had a clue. So, I did go up to Courtney and I said, hey, I'd really appreciate it if I get it if you have to tell people, but it'd be really nice if you didn't like just go in gung ho and be like, hey, Trevor and Joe are married. Like, allow me to do that as necessary or whatever. And she said, okay. But I tried. I wanted to win. I wanted to build relationships. Aaron, I was like, I finally get to play with Aaron. I found out that Danny and Sam had a relationship. I found out so much information, and I was like, can I use any of this information in this game now to be able to get myself further?
Well, I have a question from the audience. Vito wants to know what happened with the fake idol. So one of the things that happens at Redemption is you all make a fake idol and send you back in the game with it. Talk me through what's going on with this fake idol.
So they made 2 fake idols. And I know Courtney has a lot better information about this fake idol, but because she was there. Oh, okay. Like I said, I still need to watch these the interviews. I'm gonna sit down and take a day. I think
it will be a day. I can promise you
that. What is it? What do you binge watch? I'm gonna binge watch live reality games podcast.
I'm here for it.
But I got there and they were like, hey, this is what we have. This is what we're going to do. This is what we should do with it. We've made a fake idol. You should go into the game. You should use it or, whatever, however. And I took it into the game. And I was like, Courtney, how do we use this? And she's like, I'm not quite sure. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to figure it out. Like, I'm not good at lying. I really suck at lying, and I really don't want to burn bridges, especially at this point, because I'm trying to build relationships. And I went up to Aaron and I told him that I had an idol, and I told a few people that I had an idol, and I told the people that were on my original tribe that I had the idol. I didn't tell Julian. I didn't get an opportunity to tell, I think, Julian and maybe I think it was Nay. I don't think I got a chance to tell them before that it was a fake idol. Like, I wanted to, but I didn't get that information out fully, because I was like, I don't know if I tell them. I'm gonna tell them closer to the end that it's not real, like, because we're like scrambling trying to figure out how to keep all of us in the game. So I said that I had found an idol at Redemption Camp in the Shadowlands, and that I was going to use it to keep myself safe, and that we should vote for Leah to go home, because nobody was willing to vote for Eric, and they thought or believed, or I believe Eric did have an idol at that point. And we thought it might scare them or push it off to somebody else. And Julian was like, I had went up to Aaron and I asked Aaron and Sam to flip with me and to vote with me to help me get Leah out. And from what I know, Julian was like, well, I'm not going to vote for Leah. Because I think he was trying to build that relationship with her also. Like she got to him. She was that friendly, fun, safe, and scary kind of player on the other side that, people trusted and wanted to work with. And she really was doing a lot on that other side, or at least in my opinion, she was. We got Sam to flip, but we needed Aaron. Yeah. And I think it was just too scary. Like, what's next? What's my pecking order? And I was like, well, I'm just going to play it out as if it's real, because some people didn't know that it wasn't real. And then the other people were in on that conversation and had spread out information. And I didn't want anybody to take a fall for my fake idol that I didn't even know if I was doing correctly or going to get people to believe. So, I ended up going home. I played my fake idol. Like, it didn't really matter, but it was just, they had made one. They hoped that it would help me or whomever got back in the game. It gave me some confidence to try to have some conversations around it, but it really, it didn't do much.
So why target Leah? Is there anyone else you could have targeted in this merge vote besides Leah from Original Yellow?
Based off of like the conversations that I had with the people that I was working with, and anybody that knew anybody else, it seemed like it would be between Eric or Leah would be the only people that anybody would be willing to vote for that wasn't blue, because like we were still trying to like protect ourselves in some way, shape, or form. So if we were going to get anybody to flip, Eric or Leah would probably be the people, and Eric had an idol, so nobody was going to vote for Eric, because Eric would just play his idol and then he'd be safe, and then one of us would be going home. So like, I remember hearing that Rafa was really close with Aaron or somebody, and then that we knew that Rafa and Anthony were really close. So like, of course, there's no way to get them to flip. And I had tried to talk, so.
Did you know you were their target?
I felt it coming back in, that there was a big chance that I was just going to go right back out of the game, which is another reason why you would sit on that stump and say, is it worth it? Like to go back in the game? Like, am I just taking somebody else's opportunity to win, or can I? And I went out there and I tried, but, it was pretty clear. Like, I couldn't get people to really say, when I would try to talk to Eric, he'd just be like, I'm so sorry. And then like Leah was really sweet and tried to like talk to me, but she just literally came over and sat down next to me and cleaned her toes.
Yeah.
She was like, I was just trying to be nice. Like, I didn't know what else to do. I just, like, there wasn't, again, I was first boot to like Comp Beast, well loved.
You were a threat.
Fire. Yeah, I was a threat, and I even with that first challenge, whenever I came back in, I was so scared. I was like, I've got to win. So like I was second to last next to Anthony. So like I showed that again that I was a threat. I mean, I wasn't surprised.
So you are the mayor of Ponderosa for your season, the first person on the jury. I'm curious, what are you looking for this is a new experience for you. What do you want to see? What do you want in a winner? What are you looking for in a winner?
I wanted somebody that didn't want to like. I was close. Like I feel like Mary Ellen was probably my closest person. I always felt like Danny and Vito had a closer relationship. So like if I would have looked at it, I would have seen the two of them and then the two of us. So I'm not saying that like it was my intention to ever not work with them, but had my cards aligned correctly and I would have been able to get myself at some point further in the game, I would have made moves to be able to get myself further in the game. It would have been hard and it probably would have been frustrating just because we did want to stay blue strong, but like that's such to me, that's such a ridiculous thing to go like down with the ship just because you're going to go down with the ship. Like sometimes people have to make moves and are you playing your game or not? That is something that I did respect from Danny when he, voted to not keep Mary Ellen. But, those final speeches really kick your butt at the end,
Yeah, let's talk about Final Tribal Council. So, coming to the Final Tribal Council, were you leaning towards any of the three players?
Going into the Final Tribal Council, it was really hard for me to, based off everything that I did talk with Danny and the way that he had spoke about like a lot of the stuff. I didn't feel like in the beginning, first going out, that he had as much that people would vote for and as much that I felt like I didn't know his game. I didn't see his work. I saw other people's work. I saw other situations. I just knew that we had a big group and we kind of just moved along as a group until we couldn't move along anymore. Aaron was somebody that had came back into the game, as well as he screwed me because he told me to my face that he was going to try to work with me and help me. And, like if he would have flipped, there would have been an opportunity possibly for me to stay or for other, you almost convinced me if it was anyone other than Leah, I might have been talked into it. Well, I said who? Wouldn't it have been so fun to play together? Sorry. Yeah, I love you. It's okay. He was one of my top picks. Like going out there, I really felt like he was going to win. Like hearing each person talk about it as people came through, which jury is not something I've ever experienced. So there's another experience, and I learned a lot from jury. If you've never been in that and knowing what people want to hear and what they want to see and seeing and hearing what they talk about while they're in jury, what an experience to like experience. So I walked out and I said, I don't want somebody that's going to just sit around and I want somebody that's going to make moves and they're going to, do what they have to get to the end of the game. And, it was Danny, Sam, and Aaron at the end. Now they all knew each other. They had hidden their alliance for a while and, or how they had known each other or were connected. So, yeah, my main person I was looking at, honestly, going out there, on that last day, it was Aaron, based off what I had seen and what I had heard and what I'd known.
So your jury question is asking the players about jury management. What did you hear? Did you hear answers you liked from the three players?
I think they all did a pretty good job. I think the I especially like when you look at like Danny's situation, he didn't really have a hand in a lot of the people from Blue Tribe going home necessarily, like closer to the end, because it was a lot of blue and then it was a lot of yellow, and then there was a couple of them still standing at the end. So it was I think that they did do a good job for the most part. Yeah.
Danny would like to note that he met Aaron out in the game at least.
Yeah. Well, you were connected to Sam, which was connected to Aaron. So even if you were in alliance and didn't know each other previously, there was something that connected y'all and brought y'all together and allowed, because you weren't going to go against Sam. Well, you might have gone against Sam, but you weren't necessarily going to go against Sam once you hit a certain part of the game. And Sam was loyal to Aaron based off of the information and my perspective of the situation.
Yeah, so I'm curious, what was said in tribal council that swayed how you voted?
I think one of the biggest things was, I think it was Anthony that asked, or
Anthony,
maybe it's Mary Ellen.
Yeah, I was like, Anthony did not ask a question. I can tell you that much. But Mary Ellen asked the question.
I think Mary Ellen asked, who would your final three be? If you could be sitting up there with any three people, who would it be? And he said her as one of those people. But he didn't even give her an opportunity to make fire. And he was, one of the big parts of his game was the loyalty that he played. So like, I get why he didn't bring her to the end. Like, she did play a really good game, and a lot of people said she would have won. Period. But why would you say that you would want the three of y'all to be at the end, and then you didn't even give that person an opportunity to make it there? Like, we get why you didn't, but at the same time, like, it doesn't make sense that you're saying that. And it kind of just like put a lot of question and like thought in a place where there could have been a more like, I'm going to take accountability. This is what it was. This is my game. He did his best trying to, and I know he tried to backtrack into the, the statements of like why he did what he did and why he was sitting where he was and how he got where he is. But I think for him, that was like one of the biggest things. And because I think Sam had said that they would be sitting there, and I don't remember who Aaron said.
He does say Danny and Sam.
Okay, so
I mean, I think you'll find Danny's and my conversation interesting, because we talk a lot about this moment with like what to do with Mary Ellen at Final Four, where it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Yeah. He puts Mary Ellen in fire, Mary Ellen wins fire, Mary Ellen wins the game. It's like, and so I think it's like you said, it's really rational. Mary Ellen, if he gives Mary Ellen a chance, he has no shot. And maybe what you're saying is, how he framed his answer, like how he just shifted the framing or something like that, that would have sold you on at the moment.
Well, I don't know that it would necessarily have fully sold me, because like, if you rewatch it, I said in perfect world, we would be sitting there together. Yeah. In a perfect world. And I get that. The questions that there were so many questions that were asked, and based off of each person's answers to those questions gave them points or took points away. And when you're in hour-long tribal council, let's just say it was an hour. Let's just say it was an hour.
I think it is.
There's all the questions you're trying to think of. There's all the statements that you're trying to remember, and you're trying to look at the game that you know and the game that people are painting, and you're trying to go, what seems the best? And based off of the three of them, Sam's story, her answers, her final tribal council swayed me, and I didn't plan on going in there voting for Sam. So I was swayed in the moment, and I still feel like I feel like I picked a person that even into the last moment was able to play the game enough to get me to vote for them.
So you cast your vote for Sam. coming out of Final Tribal Council, did you feel like Sam had won?
Yeah. I mean, just the chatter around me. There was a lot of question on who we were going to vote for going out there and what the plan was and who thought who was doing good, and everybody's spilling their tea, and it was really up in there. It was hard. I know that there was a lot of statements. There's a lot of people that say there's a very bitter jury. No, it was just really hard to differentiate the difference between the three of their game based off of when we were sitting in jury and where they were. Not saying that individually they didn't play good games, that they didn't have wonderful runs and do wonderful things, because they all individually did something to get where they were, and they were deserving to be there. But it was really hard for a lot of us, which were people that were targeted. Their names were thrown around a lot. They were voted out, right? Because they were threats. There were people that were working and doing work and making things happen. And then there were people that were, were considered threats and voted out. So for the people that were sitting in jury, yes, there might have been some bitterness. Of course, there's a little bit of bitterness. Nobody wants to not win. Even, the experience for even Aaron and Danny not winning, that there's some bitterness there. I deserved this, or I did all of these things. I know my game from top to bottom, left to right. I know everything that I've done, and I know why I feel like I should have won that game, or I should have been further in the game. But when we have just such a fleeting moment to be able to put all the puzzle pieces in and go, all right, what is it? It's hard, but I feel like it took the whole time. And I almost remember Danny had people swayed for a moment. Everybody's like, oh man, we might all be voting for Danny. And then it was Aaron, and then it went to Sam. And I was just like, I don't even know what to do right now. This is crazy. And that's just how quickly the game can change. And that's even with just a regular tribal council. If you're not careful with what you say and what you do, in just a moment, it can change.
So how was the after party?
It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit of chaos, and I mean, it's one of the best things about Reelfoot. I mean, I haven't played any other real LRGs other than Durant.
Barefoot and Afraid.
Well, now, I mean, the Barefoot and Afraid came after. Okay,
that's true.
That's a whole story in itself. I can't wait to tell y'all. Yeah. Those moments are a lot of fun. They're really hard because, everybody's still processing what they've experienced, what they are going through, their sicknesses, their ailments, coming back into real life and what's affecting you in your real life. And knowing that you're about to go back home to what is normal life, leaving these people that have become your family and close allies over the last couple of days. It's such an experience, but it's so much fun. I've got to experience it 3 years now. And it's probably one of my favorite things. I just, the after party and the award ceremonies, and then going back and just hanging out and playing games and enjoying company. It's something that I think everybody should experience.
By the way, I do love your hat.
Thank you.
So what has been your takeaway from this experience? Your coming back and playing a second time and doing all the things that you didn't have a chance to do on your first time.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, I didn't expect to play. I didn't apply.
Mm-hmm.
So going out there and being able to have the experience that I had was wonderful. It was a little hard at sometimes because I was like, I don't want people just shooing me along because I was first boot and they feel sorry for Joe. Like, I really want to earn my spot. And I feel like I did. I did what I needed to do. I worked hard. I played hard. I got out of my comfort zone and I had such a great experience.
Is there anything else about your time in Reelfoot you'd like to talk about?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you haven't played, I would say like apply. I know that's like the craziest thing because like it's such a weird and I'm talking about like if you've never played a live reality game, and you think that looks ridiculous, that looks crazy. I don't like bugs. I don't like sleeping outside. I don't like this. Like, there's some conversations that we had, like those real human moments where we were sitting there freezing cold, wet right after the storm. And we were talking about how some people like don't have a choice and they live out there in that type of lifestyle, like homelessness, just lack thereof in their life. And you learn a lot about yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You get to meet people, some really amazing people. Like I suck at staying connected. I'm a busy mom that literally my door's been
6 kids, 2 cats, a husband to keep track
Well,
of.
there's 4 cats now. There's 6.
Oh, there's 4.
Yeah, and I just took on a nannying position, so I have 2 more kids. It's life is chaos, but like I've met some of the most amazing people. And my husband told me before I went out this season, he said you're going to meet some of your best friends this season, and I really have. Like I suck to connect. I've had some go, "Hey Joe, are we okay? We haven't really talked." And I'm like, yes. Those if I see you out in the woods again, I can't wait to spark up those relationships. And if you need me, message me. But the community and the connection, the therapy that these types of games, even though they're chaos and they create a lot of chaos in your brain, there is a therapy that's built into it, and it's really worth it. You have production out there that's absolutely amazing, top notch. Like they'll do anything for you, do the best to take care of you. It's really wonderful. So I hope more people will play and more people will come out and learn, and then also like come out and help out on production, even if it's not Reelfoot. It's another one. Go out and you give back to and allow other people to create that experience for somebody else to be able to go out, because it's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
So I have some final wrap-up questions for you then.
Okay.
If you can go back in time, give yourself one piece of advice before playing the season of Reelfoot, what would you tell yourself?
Don't play so hard in the competitions.
Both your seasons of Reelfoot have had redemption. If you played another live reality game, Survivor game, would you want there to be redemption as well?
I believe that redemption is important for a lot of different reasons. I really do like having it. I know why some people might not, but it's still a hard experience being out there and then going back in knowing that you've been voted out. People might not like you. You're not a part of the cliques and all of those things. So there's a level of hardness coming out of redemption. When you watch the last couple people come out before jury or in jury, the last couple people before final tribal council, you watch them trying to process in such a short amount of time. In that redemption, I feel like if that redemption option wasn't available early on, a lot of people wouldn't come back and play ever, because when you're out in that, at least speaking for Reelfoot, I don't know what other games and how they handle Redemption Island and stuff. Reelfoot does a really good job of making sure to do the therapy, like to help process through those emotions and those feelings and why and where and what. And I do think it's very important for every game to have it.
What was your favorite challenge this season?
I think it has to be sumo. That was so fun. I don't know who was good at it.
What merge challenge do you wish you competed in?
I remember I don't even remember all of them. I would have to say probably doing the little.
Yeah, the will it go
That
round?
was
Spinning the
fun.
circle.
Yeah. Other than it's kind of scary because I'm afraid I'm gonna get hit by a pool ball.
What was
Yes,
the
you can
favorite?
have an orange.
What was the favorite moment in camp?
You know, I'm really good at doing things on my own, and I think I'm pretty capable of handling things on my own. And like I can make a fire. I might not be the best at making the fire, but I can make a fire. Being like in the group setting where we're cheering each other on and helping each other grow. I think that's one of my favorite things, like being able to teach and to learn all in that setting. I don't think I have one individual camp moment that I really liked. I did have a moment that probably it was like one of the biggest things that I took away that like still kind of chokes me up. And I know that it's like probably like the silliest thing, but can I share it?
Go for it.
Okay. So I'm a forager and I like learning about things. I like finding different fruits and vegetables, and I like Naked and Afraid, and believe it or not.
Who would have thought?
Before my first season, I had learned what wild garlic looked like. In my first season, I went out. Nobody wanted to try my garlic because they thought I was crazy. This season, they were using it to cook the rice. So there was one day that I went to go hang out in my wet clothes, and I found blackberries. And I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. I just went and had somebody bring me my shoes, and I collected a whole bunch of berries, and I brought them back to our camp, and we were sitting there eating blackberries. Everybody was so excited about it. It was such a nice little treat, something different, right? Well, I think it was when I was on redemption, maybe I was in jury, I'm not quite sure, but Melon, her tribe won. So she was eclipsed over to the other tribe.
Yep, this is Vita's got out.
Yeah, and they got to go. Her tribe got to go to not Discovery Park. They got to go to Reelfoot Lake State Park or whatever it is.
I think like peanut butter sandwiches with it or something.
Peanut butter and sandwiches. I got to experience that my first season. That was my challenge that I had won, and I got the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the chips and the juice, and got to go walk around and learn all this stuff. This season, I got to go to Discovery Park, so I got to experience something new. But Mary Ellen, their tribal council went really quick, so they got sent back to camp by themselves, and they were there for about an hour by themselves. And they had told me at the end of the game that they were sitting there, they're pretty frustrated, like reward, and I don't get to experience it because I got this stupid marble and have to go over to this other tribe. And they said that they walked up the hill to our old camp and went and picked berries and sat down and was talking about, or had said, if Joanne hadn't found these and told me about these and taught me about this, that I would have just sat there mad. And it just sat with me. It still does. It means a lot to me that like I know those moments get really low, and that I was able to bring joy to somebody without even trying to, and so that's probably one of my favorite like things that somebody told me about the the thing. So
If you had found the key to the lockbox, would you have shared it with anyone?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you wish you had an opportunity to work with this season, but never had a chance to do so?
I really wanted to work with Leah. Like, as much as I was scared of her and
Mhm.
like I thought that we could work together, and I could never get in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, Leah probably.
Who surprised you the most out there?
Courtney.
Okay.
My first time seeing Courtney, I was like, you look at people sometimes and you're trying to like you're like, oh, this person's gonna be good at this person's gonna be good at this. And I didn't know that she was gonna be so knowledgeable and so strong and so like headstrong. And there was moments where like it almost took her out. It felt like she was just like really struggling and having a hard time. And like she proved some things to herself even more than, she had already known about herself. And it was really cool to watch her and like, yeah, Courtney.
Finally, next year, Reelfoot is doing a returning player season. Who's one player in the cast besides yourself you'd like to see come back and play again?
Jude.
All right, Jude, Ranchy herself.
Ranch. Oh, it's crazy because right after our season, it was like TSA is having problems with people showing up with Ranch, and then like there's like all this stuff about Ranch, and it's like Ranchy. Jude is so fun, and she came out first time, not being a part of it, never watching Survivor, like all this. Oh my gosh, and she was such a light and so fun, and I think she learned a lot about herself and how like she's more capable than what she maybe thought she would be able to be in those types of situations. So I really hope that at some point she will come back out and play. I'd love to watch her.
Well, Joe, I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for letting me steal almost 2.5 hours of your evening with a bunch of kids and other stuff locked outside your room. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I can't wait to talk to you about some Barefoot and Afraid.
Yeah, so if like 2.5 hours is not enough, don't worry. There's more coming our way. We just need to schedule it. We'll do it after the fact. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Live Rally Game Podcast. We're kind of reaching the tail end of the interviews. I'm hoping to talk to Leah next this coming Sunday evening. So last member of the jury and the merge. Yeah.
One more thing.
Yes.
Also, I don't know how many people know this, and probably everybody knows this, but the wonderful Steven is having his birthday today. So if it's okay, I would love to sing you happy birthday live right now.
I love that.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Steven. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Joe. I mean, this has been like, I really enjoyed podcasting, really enjoyed doing this. So this is a wonderful way to kind of wrap up my day. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. I got to spend it with you. Thank you so much.
Well, have a good rest of your evening. Have a good time with your kids, your cats. Hopefully, Trevor enjoys the Spider-Man film. And I will talk to you quite soon.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Love you guys.